everybody. It feels like a celebration here. Now, how many of you are here at Cpac for the first time? Let me just see some hands. All right, let's give them a big Cpac welcome, some of you veterans. How many of you have been to 5 or more Cpac meetings? I want to see those hands. All right, thank you, veterans. Thank you, veterans. How many of you voted last November? Who did you vote for? Okay, how many of you are grassroots activists back home who constantly work to make America great again? How many? All right, I want you to tell me one thing. Why are you here, and why do you work so hard back home for our country? Hey, I'm going to answer that one for you. Because America is worth fighting for. That's why we're here. Freedom is worth fighting for. Our ideas of individual liberty, of free markets, of traditional values, of strong defense, these are all worth fighting for. These conservative ideas make America great and make life better for everyone. But make no mistake, we will always have to fight for these ideas because freedom is the greatest threat to those on the left who crave power and control. We're going to have to fight. We can see the left all around us right now. I mean, they are literally freaking out at the rejection of their ideas and their candidates. You know, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful to let them freak out? It's a big temper tantrum that they're having right now. But isn't it wonderful that we will never have to hear the words President Clinton again? Isn't that what, I mean? The left isn't protesting bad policies. They are protesting an election and the man Americans selected is their president. And they will do everything that they can to keep Trump from being successful. Last November, Americans dodged a bullet. No doubt about it, guys. And conservatives won a great victory. No doubt about it. But folks, let's not forget that there are no permanent victories here in Washington. All we won last November was the chance to get out of the stands and onto the field. Now, the real fight begins. That's why we're here. As we gear up and equip ourselves for the fight ahead, for the fight of our lives, let's always remember and warn everyone who will listen that Washington is extremely good at lowering expectations. Sound familiar? Okay, all the guardians of the swamp are already whispering in the ears of Republicans in the Congress and in the White House, telling them not to keep their promises. I've been in a lot of these Republican meetings, and I know what the lobbyists, the consultants, and the pollsters are saying. They're saying Republicans should not overreach, that politics is the art of the possible. What they mean is that politics is the protector of the status quo. Don't rock the boat. Find the easiest road and take it. They're saying you can't build a wall and control our borders. You have to give amnesty and citizenship to the people who are here illegally. They're saying you can't repeal Obamacare. Tax reform is just too controversial. You can't ever balance the budget. And of course, you must reopen the big, crony, corrupt Export-Import Bank. That's what they're hearing behind closed doors right now. The list goes on and on. But our job as conservatives and as the national conservative movement is to make possible what the establishment says is impossible. We must think big. We must act bold. That's the American way. Remember our founders. When they signed the Declaration of Independence, they weren't practicing the art of the possible. They were dreaming an impossible dream to win their independence from the most powerful country in the world. But by dreaming, by believing, by working, by fighting, they made possible what was considered impossible by all the experts of the day. You know, President Lincoln had an almost impossible dream of keeping America united. Many fought and died to save this last great hope of humanity, but they made possible what seemed impossible. Barry Goldwater dreamed an impossible dream by running a presidential campaign on conservative ideas. He lost, but his willingness to fight for the right ideas paved the way for Ronald Reagan to eventually win the presidency on the same conservative ideas. And we know all the experts and pollsters said that Donald Trump's quest for the presidency was an impossible dream. But we found out again that in America, nothing is impossible. Fellow conservatives, this is our time. We cannot allow our representatives in Washington to squander this opportunity and again fall short of the promises that we've made to the American people. We cannot allow the left, the media, and squeamish Republicans to tell us that policies that will make life better for every American are impossible. We must and we can repeal Obamacare now. Every Republican in the House and the Senate voted to repeal Obamacare in 2015 and sent it to the president, and they should send that same bill to President Trump right now. Folks, the excuse we're hearing that we can't repeal Obamacare until we replace it is absolutely ludicrous. Before Obamacare, America had the best health care system in the world. Obamacare has become a cancer on our health care system. We don't need to replace the health care system, we need to remove the cancer. That's what we need to do right now. And once Obamacare has been removed, we will still have our doctors, our nurses, our hospitals, our insurance companies, Medicaid and Medicare plans and veterans hospitals. It's all going to still be there. No one loses their insurance. And once we get rid of Obamacare, we can begin to improve our health care system so that it works for every American. Obamacare must be repealed right now. Tell it to Congress. We must cut taxes and simplify the tax code right now to get our economy going. It will take a year or more, folks. It'll take a year or more for a pro-growth tax system to begin to rebuild our economy. So we must act now because Congress won't touch taxes next year in an election cycle. We've got to get it done. And we must protect religious liberty in America. We've got to reverse 8 years of abuse on our religious liberty by this Obama administration. We can end government taxpayer funding, Planned Parenthood, and we can do it now. We can also end government funding of public broadcasting and other immoral or elections that don't need government funding. We can do it now. And Republicans must make sure that this big, crony, corrupt export-import bank has made its last loans to China, Russia, and Iran and other places around the world that don't need American money. This is a great time. The opportunities for conservatives have never been greater. And we cannot allow the loud voices inside Washington to lower our expectations and convince us that the dreams of all Americans cannot be achieved. Let's all give Congress a big kick in the seat of the pants. Let's tell them to get to work and to keep their promises. Let's keep dreaming impossible dreams because in America, everything is possible. I thank you. The Heritage Foundation thanks you because America is always worth fighting for. Thank you, and God bless. Thanks, folks.